Hello and welcome to Homer for Monday, March 17th, 2025. Today we are going to go from line 600 down to whatever this is, 619. Alla sume moi tauta noe prasime dese in tautha trepse pilos kakion dekereye, nao sin kai yomene sinemu nemenal pidoron, erko ison gar seteoi tisu sine kaioi, de cater doron polemon frisen ora dues, cathomos mesa esai polemon pereral con. Ton apame pomenos prosepe poraso cusequilaus, foin exat tacerai yatio trefesu time tautes, creo cro times proneo de te timestai diosaise, he mexe paraneo sicuro nisine socaut mei, in stethe simene caimoi pilagu naturore, a lodetoi reo sureni precipale osesi, me moi sunke tu monadu romanos caia cauon, a treide heroi peron carinu retise crei, ton pileen hina me moi apechte ai pileon ti, Kalon toi sunemoi ton keren huske me kere. Isonemoi basileo e ke he misumere a ti meis. Hu toi dangeleusi, sudao tuthi lexe o mimnon. Eo neni maleke hamade oi pai no menefi. Fra somethe caneo metheme terra e kenmenomen. Okay, fantastic. Sorry I don't have the lyre with me today. It's sleeping right now, so hopefully it'll come back. But true Homer enjoyers, we know that contextually there may have been times, well, there usually were times in which the recitation of Homer was done without the lyre. So we will persist. Let's get into it. But friend, let me not see thee thus minded in heart, neither let heaven turn thee into this path. It were a harder task to save the ships already burning. So true. Neo sin kaio mene sin nemen, if they're already burning. Nay, come while yet gifts may be had. The Achaeans shall honor thee even as a god. But if without gifts thou enter into the battle, the bane of men, thou shalt not then be in like honor, for all thou mayest ward off the battle. Then, in answer to him, spake Achilles, swift of foot, poros alcus Achilleus. Phoenix, old sire, my father, nurtured of Zeus, in no wise have I needed this honor. Honored have I been, I deem, by the appointment of Zeus, which shall be mine amid the beak ships so long as the breath abideth in my breast and my knees are quick. And another thing will I tell thee, and do thou lay it to heart. Seek not to confound my spirit by weeping and sorrowing, to do the pleasure of the warrior, son of Atreus, Agamemnon. It beseemeth thee not to cherish him, lest thou be hated of me that cherish thee. Pileonti. Well were it that with me thou shouldst vex him, whosoever vexeth me. Be thou king even as I am, that's an imperative, basilewe, and share the half of my honor. Howbeit these shall bear my message, but abide thou here, and lay thee down on a soft couch, and at break of day we will take counsel whether to return to our own, or to tarry here. Great. So, okay, there's a few crucial plot elements that must be mentioned in order to really get into why this transition out of the story of Meleager or Phoenix's speech is now has changed the field a little bit. First of all, I think this phrase is interesting. Atreide heroi peron karin, right? So, bearing the joy that would be for the hero of Atreus, right? And this bearing the joy is his process of sorrowing in spirit, right? And also shedding tears. But there's some interesting words here, I think, which is hero, heroi, peron, karin, and then thumon, right? So the whole problem here is that Achilles will not rest his thumos, right? He will not get over his quick ability to rage, and in fact, the wrath that he currently holds. This is just not an option for him, and he seems to see how Phoenix is using his or he's stating that Phoenix is using his thumos as a, sort of like in an Agamemnonian way, which is to him quite morally despicable, and in fact could yield him being hated by Achilles. Pechtheai, even though Achilles does love him, pileondi. And this is an interesting word. This word, when it's used, kalon, we probably have seen kalos before. It basically just means beautiful. Probably better known for in Plato as the idea of the beautiful to kalon, right? This is, of course, well, not of course, but basically kalon is not really used, or kalos is not really used in the Iliad that much as a sort of like moral turning point, right? Whereas in Plato, obviously, it becomes beauty as being something good, is something very fundamental to Platonic thought. So interesting that it is here. And then also, and most crucially, for why this passage is important, we see here a turning of Achilles' mind just a little bit. And it's not explicitly stated. He, as before, sort of just says, you're saying nonsense, right? But he does change a little bit, which is this last line. We will discuss in the morning, phi nomen nephi. So at the appearing of dawn, right? We will phi nomen nephi. We will discuss whether or not we go home or whether we stay here. This is very different than what it was before. Than what it was before. He was going to try to convince Phoenix to go home, but he himself was definitely going to leave, right? So now they're deciding. There's a lot of ambiguity. Like, does he mean that both of us are going to deliberate, or does he mean they're going to continue to deliberate about whether or not Phoenix is going to go home, right? And we will see what Ajax is able to further do next time. But one last thing I'd like to note, I just think this form is really, really great. Phi nomen nephi, right? This is a participle, right? But it's a very epic form, right? And nephi, right? This form with the eta, or just the phi iota on the end. I just want to point that out. It's very specifically epic. And then the word for autme, I also think it is interesting. This word for wind, where is it? Yeah, right here. As long as this is sort of like a hot wind, you know what I mean? Like a sort of like, wind from a fire, you know what I mean? As long as that is still in my chest, I will continue. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and we will pick up with this tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening, and see you then.